I am the happiest man on the planet right now. I love fantasy football so much. I love you for stopping by to hang out with us to talk about this. We'll update the rankings. We'll talk about it all. But again, I appreciate y'all so much for being here with us. But anyway, let's go through just each player and each offense and talk about the updated fantasy football outlook for them. I'm going to be honest, I missed about 2 drives in this game because I was having to illegally stream it because YouTube TV and ESPN do not know how to be friends. And then the website that I was streaming from went down, and then I had to find a new website. So I won my matchup this week off the Josh Jacobs touchdown that I sadly did not even get to see. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this. Jalen Hurts, 183 passing yards, passing touchdown. Doesn't come through with that much rushing. Jalen Hurts is just in general running the ball less this year than we've seen in years past. Like, we can go through and pull this up. It is sad that on flockfantasy.com, we do not get the stats the second the game ends. It does take a little bit of time here. But if you look at what Jalen Hurts had been doing coming into this contest, Jalen Hurts from a rushing perspective was sitting here over the past month with 3, 13, -10, and 22 rushing yards. Like, the rushing production has not been there for Jalen Hurts. Now, with that in mind, he's still sitting there averaging 20 points a game coming into this. So I want to give Jalen Hurts the benefit of the doubt, but this is the continued trend of him just running the ball less in this offense. And it does kind of suck for the people that are rostering him in fantasy. Again, it's not the worst day in the world. You have a passing touchdown. You have 183 passing yards, but you're not rostering Jalen Hurts, or I'm not ranking Jalen Hurts as a top 5 quarterback in fantasy because he's going to have a bunch of passing yards. No, I mean, we're doing so based off that rushing ceiling. So as I look at my quarterback rankings, there's a very real world in which we just have to go ahead and move Drake May ahead of Jalen Hurts rest of season, which honestly, I think we are going to do. I think I would rather have May over Hurts. The only hold up with that is you do have a better, I'm sorry, not even a better. You have more games played from Drake May rest of season than what you're going to get with Jalen Hurts, just because Jalen Hurts has already gone through the bye. Let's go ahead and let's look at our next player in this offense. Next option is going to be Saquon Barkley. So I actually ordered a Saquon Barkley jersey tonight. I said I was going to if I won my fantasy matchup and moved to 8-2. And of course, the team of destiny won tonight. So we are big chilling at this point. But with Barkley, comes through 22 carries. Does he look great? Does he have any big plays? No. He had one that went for like 20 yards that got called back with the holding. Obviously, probably wouldn't have actually had that 20-yard run if it wasn't for the holding. So it's rightfully getting called back. But with Barkley, you do at least have the receiving usage. You have the 41 receiving yards off of 3 receptions, which does kind of save the day fantasy-wise. You still have the touchdown upside. I'm still going to rank Saquon Barkley as a running back 1 rest of season, but this is the continued trend of him just not being as explosive. And also, you have another offensive line injury here in Philly. So already an offensive line that had been struggling in comparison to what we are used to gets worse. But Josh, we'll get to Jacobs in a second, but we have James Cook right ahead of Barkley. I have Barkley RB8, Rico Dowdle RB9 rest of season. Honestly, I don't think I changed this ranking at all. Now, going over to wide receiver, this is what we maybe need to change. We had Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, both as mid wide receiver 2s that you probably just got to start every single week, right? We had Devonta Smith, wide receiver 19 in our rest of season ranks. And we had A.J. Brown, wide receiver 20. So if we are looking at what we have with the rankings going into the future, it is very tough for me to continue to say that A.J. Brown is a must-start wide receiver. Comes away with 3 targets, and I know everybody's losing their mind. Like, my group chat's losing their mind going, what the hell are the Eagles doing on that 4th down? Throwing a bomb to A.J. Brown on the sideline instead of kicking the field goal. Here's my theory on what happened at the end of the game. I think the Philadelphia Eagles tried to force the ball to A.J. Brown, to make him happy so he stops crying. But A.J. Brown at this point, it may be over. He may just be straight up washed. It's sad to say he's a wide receiver that was drafted in 2019, only stayed 3 years at Ole Miss, so you'd assume that it shouldn't be over for him. But we go through, and actually the stats are already loaded into flockfantasy.com. Dang, that was fast. But you look at this, A.J. Brown this season has 3 games with double-digit fantasy points. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games with fewer than 10. If you're in 3, he's had 2 games with 20 or more points, and we're in week 11. Wan'Dale Robinson has been better. And I know some people are going to say, oh, it's all Jalen Hurts. It's all Jalen. And Jalen Hurts is definitely a big part of this. But at the same time, A.J. Brown coming into this game had been averaging just as many targets per game as he did last year. The efficiency has gone way down. Whether you want to blame the drop-off in efficiency with A.J. Brown, whether you want to blame it with Jalen Hurts, I know everybody's blaming it on Jalen Hurts, but here's the thing. Devonta Smith is producing better than ever. Dallas Goedert's having the best season he's ever had. So how are we going to blame all of A.J. Brown's struggles on Jalen Hurts if he's the only guy in this offense? Like, this is the only big disappointment in this offense. I guess you could say Barkley. But would I rather have Jalen Waddle? I have Jalen Waddle on my fantasy team. I'd easily rather have him over A.J. Brown rest of season. A.J. Brown right now is averaging 11.2 fantasy points per game. Would I rather have Debo? Probably. Would I rather have Marv? Probably. Would I rather have Tedero McMillan? Probably. Would I rather have DK Metcalf? Probably. Like, I think A.J. Brown's a high-end wide receiver 3 in our rest of season ranks. We had him as a mid wide receiver 2. I think we move him down from like 19 to 25. This is just the continued trend. It would be different. Like, you could call this an overreaction if this was a one bad game, but this has been the entire season now for A.J. Brown. He's had 2 respectable games the entire year. Okay. Now, let's go over and let's look at what we have with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 43 receiving yards. The big reception that he had, I actually did not even get to see it because, again, I was not streaming the game legally like I try to do like a good citizen, because I got YouTube TV thinking I could watch Monday Night Football, and apparently I couldn't. So I'm over here using a No Bueno website, and that website went down. So I didn't even get to see Dallas Goedert, who I started tonight, have the big play. But we had Goedert ranked tight end 7 in our rest of season ranks in the same tier as Laporta, Kelsey, Gadsden. I think he probably stays here, right? I don't think we have to change anything. Let me know. Again, there's a chance I missed something here because I think we missed maybe even 3 drives with this game. Here's what happened. On one bad boy website, going through trying to work it, it works perfectly fine. That's what I did last Monday too. Danny got me hooked up with this. Then goes down. Then I go to the other bad boy website he recommends to me. Every single time I try to click to watch the game, it's just, oh, here's this illegal sports book. Here's this illegal sports book. Here's this illegal sports book. Literally 10 clicks. I'm like, oh, on the 11th click, are they going to let me watch it? And it just simply won it. Vinny says, if you install the NFL app on your smart TV and connect it to YouTube TV, you can watch it on your TV. All right. Well, I will try that. Okay. Now, let's move over to the Packers side of things. From what I saw with this game, which was the majority of it, they could not get anything going at all. Jordan Love, 176 passing yards off of 36 pass attempts. You have no Matthew Golden. You have no Tucker Kraft. You have no Jaden Reed. And you have a really tough matchup going up against Philly. Going over and rank it, like, Jordan Love's not going to run it. I know he had 28 rushing yards in this single game, but my favorite word, realistically, how often are we seeing that with Jordan Love? Let me see if I can find him on the My Teams page on the site. See who has him. And let's pull up that Jordan Love game log. Come on. Who has Jordan Love here? Is Jordan Love on our waiver wire? He must be. Yeah, Jordan Love's on our waiver wire. Okay. Jordan Love so far this season has had 4, 12, 18, 28, 26, 22, -1, 1, and then 28 rushing yards this past week. This is his second time having 5 or more carries. So if the passing volume's not there and he's not effectively running it, how could you possibly be excited about Love? At this point, he's averaging 16.4 fantasy points per game. Like, I think he's in the tier alongside like Fields and Flacco from a rest of season perspective. Now, obviously, I would much prefer Flacco in terms of like this week, but if Burrow's back in week 13, that's tough. Okay. But so long story short, Jordan Love's on the waiver wire in my league, and he probably should be on the waiver wire in your league as well. Now, going over to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs is who won me my matchup this week. Thank you, Mr. Josh Jacobs, for allowing us to go to 8-2. He continues to be a 3-down running back. Emmanuel Wilson doesn't get much here in comparison to what Emmanuel Wilson had been seeing. Jacobs has 27 total opportunities. He's the entire offense. Yes, he fumbles at the end of the game. Yes, I panicked and thought it lost it for me. I had to check my app. I'm very sorry if you lost your game off that Jacobs fumble, but Josh Jacobs in our rest of season rankings was a set it and forget it RB1 every single week, and I think he stays there. We have Josh Jacobs as our running back 6 in our rest of season ranks, averaging 19.6 fantasy points per game right now. I think he stays right there. Going over to the receivers, Christian Watson's just the deep bomb guy. Dontavian Wicks has 9 targets, and maybe Dontavian Wicks is actually all of a sudden somebody that we can look at. Because if we're looking at what we have with the Kraft injury, the Reed injury, the Golden injury, and now Romeo Doubs is banged up, there's nobody left. It's Christian Watson as a deep threat. Dontavian Wicks is the underneath guy. I maybe he is interesting. I think you're just going to have to wait to see what the deal is. Because the thing is, realistically, y'all know, oh God, I need to stop saying that. You probably have Matthew Golden back this next week, and maybe Romeo Doubs is in. So I don't want to tell you to go out there and say like, oh, you need to pick up Dontavian Wicks because he's the last guy here and Jordan Love's a good quarterback. Because 1, Dontavian Wicks is not a good wide receiver. 2, again, while every wide receiver is injured in Green Bay right now, that's not guaranteed to be the case rest of the season. But I think that's really all there is to discuss in terms of this game. We'll probably move Romeo Doubs down our rest of season ranks. Just because, again, he deals with the injury. And now all of a sudden, when he is back, Matthew Golden's probably back as well. So you could probably move Romeo Doubs back down to being like a wide receiver 3. But I think that's all I got for y'all. Of course, I want to remind you that 1, I really appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us after these games. So I have somebody to talk about it with. It really does mean the world. I promise you that. 2, we have a bunch of free stuff over on flockfantasy.com. If you wanted to go link your league, it's completely free. This is generally how I do everything with my league. These will update, and the team of destiny will be 8-2. Don't y'all worry about that. But you can go through, you can sort your league by record, sort your league by points for, sort it by points against, sort it by the power ranking that you have of the teams in your league. And at the same time, you can actually go through and see the best waiver wire pickups in your league, right? So here are the best waiver wire pickups in my league, according to the rest of season ranks on the site. Jordan Love, Chimera DK, Keon Coleman, Cooper Kupp, Trevor Lawrence. We don't have that many great players in our league. It's a really tough spot. But also on flockfantasy.com, there's other free stuff for y'all to check out and go through, look at a bunch of cool stats. Go see rest of season ranks. These are the expert averages. Keep in mind, if you wanted to see mine, those are behind a paywall, but you would hit expert average. Then you would scroll over. My name's Mason Dodd. You would sort by my rankings. But again, you can sort by the expert average for free. And also what you can do for free is you can use the trade calc for free. You can put in your exact league settings and then go, oh, okay, I want to see if I should trade away Jonathan Taylor and get back in return, let's say, Javonte Williams, Bucky Irving, and Chris Godwin. And a lot of trade calculators will just go, oh, okay. You want to go with the side that has the majority of the players on it. You want to go with the side that has Javonte, Tedero, McMillan, and Chris Godwin. But our calculator knows, hey, the elite guys are actually elite. So you can compare players and how they're doing this season. If you want to go, oh, how's Jamar Chase versus Jackson Smith and Jigba? You can go ahead, pull that up. You can change the timelines to whatever you want. You can say, oh, let's just look at weeks 5 through 10 for both these players. You can add additional stats that you want to see in here as well. Let's look at their targets, their yards per route run, et cetera, et cetera. All this stuff's free on flockfantasy.com. We spend so much time working on it for you. I really hope that you use it. Really hope that you get value from it. And Teal says, hey, Mason, thanks so much for the merch. The fire hats. Appreciate you as well, my guy. And yeah, if y'all filled out the Google form to get the free merch giveaway last month, I am right now spending every free second that I have sending that free merch out to y'all. Slowly but surely, we are getting our kitchen back and those hats are going out. We're averaging about, I want to say 80-ish hats shipped out a day, which is really nice. The fiance is a happy camper when she sees me going to the post office to get those out of our kitchen. But yeah, let me know in the chat if y'all actually got a hats already. Because like I said, we've sent out over 1,000 at this point. But much love, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. I'll leave the link to flockfantasy.com if y'all are interested. Like I said, I know it's November 10th. I know you're not going to go out there and buy an annual membership on November 10th. Don't blame me for it. But there's a bunch of free stuff on the site that you can check out. But thank you again. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. Really hope that you won. And yeah, I'll see you out with the live stream tomorrow.